So hello everyone, I'm Kadene Chambers and it's a new month, and I should have had new content out for you in the series BTS Live Loss and Grief, but I don't, and that's really because I have chosen to listen to what I need, that my spirit has communicated that it needs. So we're in the month of April, and April last year is when I lost my mother, so while we're getting closer and closer to that actual date, though we're not there yet, I have already been feeling the impact of this first year anniversary. It feels so wrong to say that word, because you think anniversary, you think celebration, but you know, and before we even got to April, when I started to feel it, it's like, you know, the feeling of it's almost April. My soul is sad. I feel sad, and I really couldn't. I haven't been able to produce the BTS Live for April, and so I've listened to my soul, and it is hard, and I hadn't before realized how hard it is, because this is my first experience of losing somebody that's this close to me. But as I've been going through the experience, I have become so much more aware of what others are saying that they're going through. So, you know, normally I guess you would see it, but it would still be in passing. So there are persons who I know who have recently lost loved ones, and I realize that everybody has a very hard time, especially that first year, as it comes up on the anniversary of the death. And in this regard, I realize loss and grief that has to do with losing a loved one, the death of a loved one, it feels different than the other kinds of losses with grief, because I'm not sure if the anniversary of, let's say if you lost your house, and if years later, you know, when it gets to the anniversary, if it is as triggering. I don't know. We'll probably have that conversation with someone soon. Suffice it to say, it's been hard. I think as it got closer and closer to the first of the month, my soul just felt heavier and heavier. My heart just felt heavier and heavier and heavier. And by the time we got to the first, I remember waking up that morning, and all I was thinking, I don't know where the thought came from, but all I was thinking was last year this time, my mother was still alive. It is hard. It is hard. One of my best friends who lost her mom just months before I lost mine, and her mom died in the December, and as it got closer to December last year, I remember we were speaking, and she was describing, you know, how it was for her. So I was speaking to her a couple of days ago, and she said my pressure has been through the roof since the beginning of the month. And while I haven't said anything even to the family and friends around me, because you realize life goes on, It's almost as if nobody recognizes or realizes how hard it is. And when you're not accustomed to shining a light on your needs or what is going on with you, and when you're living, you're doing things many people don't realize. And it feels weird to even, it feels almost like you're calling attention. Like somebody like me, you're not really sure what to do with it, right? Because inside I feel so sad and I feel lost. But like there's a part of you that wants to tell people, want to tell your loved ones how much you're hurting. But then that part of you that's so accustomed to being strong finds it so hard to say how much you're hurting. Find it so hard to say how much you're hurting. And so you're just going through feeling the hurt, feeling like nobody even realizes that we're at this mark and processes just how hard it probably is. Except somebody who has gone through it recently and somebody who is that close to you. And so I am grateful even in this moment for friends like Maxine. She gets it. She always gets me, but a part of it I also know is because her loss is also so recent. And I miss my mother so much. And it feels like it is still not. There are moments where I can still see her face, I can still hear her voice, I can still hear her laugh, I can still hear her calling me and saying, "My daughter." That's what she would say. And I would say, "Yes, ma'am." I still hear it. Still hear it. So this is me explaining why there's no new content for BTS Live this month. I'm just working with myself and giving myself the grace that I often remind you to give yourself, and just doing whatever my soul feels like it needs. And I'm working on, not actively working, but trying to prepare myself to ensure that BTS Live is back for me. Right now, I'm sitting with it and standing and just being with the emotions of grief and missing my mommy, and the thoughts and the memories, and just allowing myself to just feel. And I hope when the 23rd or the 24th rolls around that I will be that I'll be good. Anyone else who is going through the grief of losing a loved one, my heart goes out to you. My heart goes out to you. And if it's a recent loss, I promise you it gets easier over time. It never truly goes away, but it gets easier. And I give thanks that it has already begun to get easier for me. But when the days become fraught with heavy emotions, I just allow them to be. Thank you so much for understanding. Thank you so much for the support. And I pray that you will give yourself grace in every instance that you need to. Thank you.